Hello everybody, I'm Face, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing a bit of a problem in the PvP scene for Loomian Legacy. Now, if you're one to just do the general Coliseum PvP and not really enter tournaments, not really too much of a problem, it's not really all that common, but in the tournament scene, there are a lot of stall teams popping up, and while that in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing, I mean, stall is a play style. Sure, you're a garbage human being if you use it, but that's called an opinion, by the way. That's just my opinion. Anyway, it doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. The problem is that, well, people have come to figure out that stall is really freaking good right now. Like, too good right now. Y'all thought stall in the mastery update was dumb, you know, with your Swolder, Florian, or no, I don't think people used Florian. I don't remember what people used, but I just remember Swolder was there, and at the head of it. But no, that doesn't hold a candle to this patch's stall. Now, before I go into more things, one, I'm not actually doing any battles. I'm not actually using stall. Don't expect anything from me. I hate using stall. Will never use stall unless, you know, like Fan Friday, whatever, you know, people decide to torture me. But, anyway, I gotta get this out the way now. When I say stall, I mean stall as in a team composition, because stall is not really a role you give to a Loomian. I know a lot of people go like, oh, look, he's got Obsidian, he's using a stall Loomian. No, a stall Loomian does not exist. No. See, that's what we call a wall. Obsidian is a wall. Florant is a wall. Etc, etc. What stall is in an entire team composition, such as this. This is the team being popularized. I mean, there are a couple variations of it. You know, you throw it into clips for Vesperado immunity, or what I believe someone mentioned a Chartiki being thrown in here somewhere. I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't care enough to properly research the stall teams. I just know this is one being popularized. If you're a dedicated stall player, if you're like hidden in my channel looking for stall sets, don't look at these. These are either outdated or not for stall. Anyway, so the problem is that stall is really freaking good. It's not unbeatable by any means. You could definitely beat stall. It's just right now, because of like how many complete components a stall team can have right now, they require such specific counterplay right now that you basically, if you're building to beat stall, you're expecting to lose to basically everything else. I could go over some, you know, things that could help against stall, but I'm lazy. But, anyway, this is kind of a disorganized video. I apologize for that. But, let me go back over to the concept of stall. If you don't know, like I said before, stall is a team composition. The goal of stall is to passively wear down the opponent while keeping your Loomians healthy. Generally comes with things with recovery, you know, Beast Slumber, Rejuvenate, Perch, Power Napper, Revival, Sap Plant, you know, various passive ways, various ways of keeping yourself healthy, and then combined with like Poison, Maybe Bird, Sap Plant, and various chip like a chase down from, you know, a more range defensive setting Mars stuff. Just meant to chip down, wear down the opponent. They don't really have an offensive way to deal with you. What I'm talking about is like true stall. Their goal is to whittle you down very slowly and meticulously while keeping themselves healthy so that you never get in an advantageous position and you're wearing yourself out trying to get into one. So that's what stall is. I hate it. It's a complete waste of time. Oof. Now I forget the Discord user, but I'll show them on screen. They were recently participating in a tournament for a secret ability Ikazune as a prize. They had to fight someone. I'm not going to break attention to their name, but you know, they had to fight someone, and then their battle ended up being an hour and a half long. Now, see, general tournament rules. The battles last for 30 minutes, and if both players have the same amount of Loomians left, they have to keep going until one is knocked out. This battle was an hour and a half, and at the end of that hour and a half, the final score was 5-4. It took an hour and a half for a Loomian to be knocked out. The person lost against the stall team because, you know, it's just super easy to keep stuff healthy. Against most, like 99%, I shouldn't say 90% of teams. It's just so annoying to try and break through stall. Again, it's because right now stall has the most synergy with its teammates. Like, it has most of the pieces to the puzzle, whereas something like offense or like hyper offense, they all lack specific things to make them better. Like, hyper offense would love choice items to help their breaking capabilities, and well, I guess all forms of offense would love choice items, and you know, lots of things don't have a lot of coverage, so that they're walled by pretty much everything they don't hit for super effective and all that kind of jazz. Defense, everything just has recover. Everything that they check each other's weaknesses very well. They all have recovery. So it's like the pieces are there for stall. They're all there. The only bad thing is an item clause, so that, I mean, because they can't just all have like health amulets. As opposed to Pokemon, who just, you know, heavy duty boots plus leftovers plus whatnot, black sludge. So yeah, these guys just have the most synergy right now, and that's why it's so good. So the problem here is that we lack breakers. We lack things that could, you know, break through stuff. I mean, we have a couple stall breakers, but okay, you know, before I go to stall breakers, let's go back to the wall breaker. We have probably the best wall breaker in the game right here. Mutagon, you know, Brawn boost gets up to +2 with the heavy fist, does some massive damage. And if it were not for this thing right here, Vesperatu, it would be extremely viable at breaking through general stall builds. But again, since stall has the most synergy, this could be slapped right on a team, and suddenly you have a Mutagon answer. Another thing, I mean, Mutagon's not the only breaker. We have Borok, but we have Stratosaur, we have Obsidragon. Those two can stop Borok. If it had like a choice band, it would be a different story. But like if they tried to lock themselves into Earthquake, or like if you tried to switch into Obsidragon in and they had choice band Earthquake, oops, Obsidragon's not taking that too well. I mean, very robust heavy armor, I'm sure would eat it up, but you know. But like, let's say you try and go Stratosaur and then, you know, choice band Megachomp. Oof. That's not to say that they still couldn't handle it, because let's say they go into this and they get hit by a choice band Megachomp. It's not the end of the world. They're not going to get knocked out in one hit. Then they just go into Vesperatu and suddenly damage is nothing. Or Earthquake is happening here. Boom, suddenly immune. Although, you know, Levitate's going to ruin that. But anyway, breakers lack the tools necessary to properly break, or when they do, it's just they have a hard counter, and that is commonly used in stall. Unfortunate. Another problem is that offense has no reliable way of chipping stuff down. I mean, you could use poison, but generally the only good offensive option to inflict poison is Tatab. Yeah, that do really be it. And then, you know, something that can handle Tatab, obviously not the best answer to it, but Krakaloa generally carries Mysterious Dust. Good luck. But Pokemon has Stealth Rocks, and if you don't know what that is, it's a hazard. It's an entry hazard, like similar to Icicle Trap. That I should say Icicle Trap is similar to it. But every time a Pokemon comes in on Stealth Rock, they take a base of 12.5% of their max health, and then, you know, it's based on their weakness to the typing Rock. If they resist it, it would take half as much. If they double resist, it's a quarter as much. And the same thing for super effective stuff. We have that in Loomian Legacy. Icicle Trap is the same thing. It's just if a fire type comes in on Icicle Trap, it's immediately removed, automatically, 100%, just gone. So you could try and set up Icicle Trap, but, you know, Stall always runs Krakaloa. Krakaloa just comes in, removes them immediately. Well, there goes your chip, and now you have to deal with a fat boy right here. So basically what I'm saying is hazards are unreliable. You could try and use Poison Barbs to wear this team down. Two problems though. One, after the balance patches, this secret ability, Stratosaur's secret ability is actually going to block. It was actually meant to block him at first, but it didn't. And after the balance patches, it's going to block Poison Barbs from being set up. And even if you do get them set up, Krakaloa has Mysterious Dust and carries Burn Up to remove Poison Barbs. So yeah, it's unreliable because they have this thing right here just comes in, removes barbs, has Mysterious Dust, can cure itself of poison. So yeah, unreliable hazards means offense can't really chip down Stall. And chipping against Stall is different because when you're chipping down with offense, you want to chip them down so that you have various breakers. Puts them into range of various breakers. Like, what do we got here? Anything? I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, right. Setimars right here. Setimars wouldn't be able to take quite as many ranged hits if it were hit by a tick of Icicle Trap. It takes 25% of its health from it, and suddenly Ikizuna, not Ikizuna, I know Eruptodon's opened up by that, Shashi's definitely opened up by that, Gardron's opened up 100% by that, and various other things. It wouldn't be able to take nearly as many ranged hits if it took Icicle Trap damage. What else we got? Just so many things are built to take specific hits, but they don't include hazard damage. Unlike, a lot of people building in Pokemon always take hazards into account because they're reliable, and they're not reliable here. I've tried to get Icicle Trap buffed in the past. Jamie thinks Icicle Trap is 100% balanced. It's just because the meta is so favorable to fire types right now that Icicle Traps suck, and it's definitely not because it's super easy to get a fire type in regardless of the meta, just to quickly get rid of hazards. I've tried. I shot my shot. I tried shooting the shot. It didn't work. And then the last thing that makes Stall so in a way better than Pokemon Stall is that we use energy, they use PP. You would think conceptually that Stall would be more effective in Pokemon because they have a finite resource, but it's actually the opposite. because we have energy, we have a pool of energy. Sure, we can rest up and get that energy back whenever, pretty much whenever we want. Once stall forces an offense to rest and get their energy up, that's a turn they don't have to worry about anything, and they can actually just pressure the offensive team. A top gets down to 0 energy. You know, you've got set, and they're out. They have a SETI Mars out in front. You could just chase down and do huge damage to it while they're resting up, getting energy back. You could just take so much more advantage. What I should be saying is that Loomian Legacy has so many more downturns, turns where nothing is happening, than Pokemon does. So Stall can capitalize on that harder than Pokemon can capitalize on, or Pokemon Stall can capitalize. And so the only real fix to that would just be to rework energy somehow. And I'm honest, if I'm gonna be real, not sure how. It's just I couldn't tell you. Because you know, I always thought dodge for energy stalling was super annoying and, you know, super viable for no reason. You know, increase the energy cost of dodge and the various moves like Briar Block, Magma Block, but most stall doesn't run that in the first place. They don't need to. They just have the bulk to survive everything, and so they could just stall out by taking the hits. They don't need to dodge. I mean, they can do it. They can throw dodge on their sets to just stall out energy, but it's not necessary. Yeah. So to recap, stall's super good because we lack breakers, we lack reliable chip against stall, and we lack energy screwing offense over. It's a bigger detriment to offense than it is for stall or defense or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. That's pretty much my spiel on the whole situation. So if you've always been wondering why I haven't been hosting any tournaments this patch, initially it was because I was busy with other stuff. But you know, as I was just seeing results for various tournaments, I've seen a couple tournaments, a couple different results for different tournaments, not like final results. I don't know the winners of various tournaments, but I see stall working so well, and then, you know, I take a look at the team, and it's just like, wow, general offense cannot break this. But I mean, there are like I said before, there are specific ways you could deal with this. Like this team specifically deals with, or struggles to deal with the very smart, baneful Gobademic. You could pair it with Poison Barbs. Even if Krakaloa comes in to get rid of them, you could still screw it up with a Muck Blast. If Stratosaur tries to eat the hit before the Krakaloa could get rid of hazards, you can Trip Root them. It's a 3-hit KO on them. So Gobademic actually puts in work, but an offensive Gobademic in general is just not that great. It doesn't provide much synergy for a team. It's kind of its own entity. You kind of have to build around Gobademic. You can't just slap Gobademic in a team. So yeah, Mutagon, if Vesperatu's out of the picture, can do the work against stall, but it's just hard to get Vesperatu out of the picture because it's so sustainable with revival. And you pretty much need Mutagon to break through the stall if you have it on your team. So Vesperatu is going to almost always successfully scare it out. And even if you don't scare out Mutagon, you're still going to kill it before it kills you. So it's just oof. Just a big oof. There are no real good ranged breakers besides like the Gobademic, like I said, because majority of ranged attackers are all walled by this stupid bear. And by the way, very smart Trip Root from a Gobademic. If the SETI Bars is poison, will actually do it KO, so there you go. That's fun. Also Trumbull. Trumbull can actually help against stall. Although the only problem is that like Stratosaur, Krakaloa, they're ranged based, and Krakaloa threatens burning. So, yeah, those are problems. Vesperatu, again, resists both types of moves Trumbull could throw out. So it's obviously not the best way, but it can help with it. But it's just, yeah, that's pretty much all you really got. I mean, I'm sure there are other ways that exist, like Mewtwo is a very good breaker, but this thing, this thing saps a lot of energy out of Mewtwo to break through it, and then the others could capitalize. Like, also, again, Vesperatu resists, they could just, slap it if it wants to. So, if you guys know any good stall breaking tips, tricks, cheats, hacks, any tech for breaking stall, let me know in the comments below. But I've been ranting about stall for a little too long now. But yeah, don't expect any tournaments from me. They're just not going to be fun because stall is too good, and the point of a tournament is to win. So why not use what works? I personally would never use stall. I personally have a huge bias against it. I hate it. But people play tournaments to win, so they're gonna use stall because it wins. So yeah, I'm not gonna host a tournament when stall is by far and above and beyond the other play styles right now. So no. That's pretty much it for me. Just a little rant about stall in the game right now. How it's basically making PvP at a higher level not fun. Because who wants to sit around for an hour and a half only to not knock anything out? Not me. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for me. If you liked the video or agree with what I've been saying, make sure to leave a like down below. What are your opinions on stall? Leave them in the comments below. I'll be, I always read my comments. I know I'm not the best at replying to everybody, but I do read all my comments. I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of stall? Do you think it's too overpowered right now? Do you think I'm blowing it out of proportion? Love to hear it. Leave them down below. Like I said, that's it for me. I'll see y'all in another video. See ya.